In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a chart out of data that we have already put into our workbook in Google Sheets. Now, making a chart in Google Sheets or a graph is very, very easy, and there's only a couple steps that you need to worry about in order to successfully make this chart. If you remember back in assignment 2, I showed you there are two ways to input data into your Google Sheets workbook. I chose to go with the one that only had 4 categories and counted the number of students in each category. I've also added a title and subcategories. Column A is the type of food, which you can see here, and column B is the number of students. In order to make a chart, the easiest way to do it is you just click on the first thing that matters to your chart, which is the type of food that they like, and you're going to highlight all of the information that you need inside of your chart. To highlight everything, all you do is click and drag until all 4 things are highlighted, including the amount of students that chose each one. After everything is highlighted, all you need to go is go up to the ribbon, click Insert, and then click Chart. Now, automatically, it's going to make a bar graph for you. You can see this bar graph came up very quickly. Now, it's a very plain bar graph when you create it. It just gives you the basic information. If you hover over each bar, it tells you the amount of students that picked that one. So pizza, there were 7 students, just like it says here. For burgers, there were 6 students, like here. Pasta is 4 and salad is 3. Now this chart, it's effective, but it's not what we're trying to look at. So if you look over here, you'll see that there's a chart editor. The chart editor, as it's set up, you can pick the type of chart you make. Some of your top choices are a bar graph, a pie graph, a horizontal bar graph. You have line graphs down here and all kinds of other ones. But for our cases, our best choice is probably going to be a bar graph. So we're going to leave it exactly how it is, and we're going to shift over to where it says customize. When you make a graph, you always have to have a title and label your axes. Remember, there's 2 axes in every graph. There's an x-axis and a y-axis. The x-axis goes left to right, like down here, where it says pizza, burgers, pasta, and salad. And the y-axis is where the number of students are. This one is numbered by 2s, 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. But we don't have a title, and our axes aren't labeled. So what we have to do is we come over to our chart editor, click chart and axis titles, and we're going to start. It gave us options here. We'll start with our chart title. And for this graph, we're going to call it favorite foods. Now you'll see automatically it puts the title all the way on the left side of the graph. We don't want it there. We want it in the middle. So over here on the chart editor, you go down to where it says title format, and this button is the alignment button. You click on that and center it. Now it moves the favorite foods over to the middle of the graph. Now we also have to label both of our axes. So we're going to start by looking at our subcategories here. Our horizontal axis is our x-axis. That's down here. So we're going to call that types of food. And we'll also have to label our y-axis over here. So we'll go to the same drop-down menu, click vertical axis, and use number of students. Now those are already centered in the middle of the graph, so you don't have to do anything with that. After that, there's a couple other things you could do. I like to go to chart style, and I like to make 3D bar graphs. So I just click on 3D, and it just makes it easier to look at. So we're done editing. We can X out of that. Now we can move our graph if we want to, or if you're happy with where it is, that's fine. I'm going to move it a little bit just so it's in line with the rest of my data. You'll see I lined it up starting in column C, or just about, and it goes as long as it needs to. Now, one of the parts of your assignment was to download and submit this graph by itself as an image. In order to do that, you click on your graph, so it's highlighted like this, and there's three little dots in the corner here. Click on those three little dots, highlight download as. You want to use a PNG image. And click on PNG image, and it's going to give you the option of what to call it. This one labeled it already because I gave it a title. It's favoritefoods.png. That's what I need you to submit in addition to this completed workbook that is also going to include the number of the 4 questions that I asked you in assignment 3 and this graph. Your full workbook with the assigned questions and the graph is going to be worth a significant portion of this grade, so be sure that you submit both. Both the graph and the completed workbook should be submitted via email and through our learning management system, Google Classroom. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this module on Google Sheets, and I'll see you online.